Alex Guarnaschelli is recognized as one of America's most popular chefs and food personalities. A veteran of award-winning kitchens in New York and France, she has been executive chef at Butter in Manhattan since 2003. Since 2007, she has become a fixture on the Food Network, earning the title of Iron Chef in 2012 and appearing as a judge on Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay. She now hosts Chow House, Supermarket Stakeout, and is one of the stars of The Kitchen. This evening we'll be discussing her career, life, and her fourth and latest cookbook, Cook It Up, Bold Moves for Family Foods, co-authored by her chef-in-training daughter, Ava Clark. Please welcome Alex Guarnaschelli.
Hi.
Good evening. Thanks for coming.
Oh, sorry. Hi, I already screwed up.
I'm Erica Marcus. I'm a food writer here at Newsday. This is Alex Guarnaschelli, star of the Food Network and many other things. And I want to welcome you to this Newsday live event here in beautiful downtown Melville in our state-of-the-art studio. So, Alex, thank you so much for being here tonight.
This is mugshot lighting.
So, I figured we would start off by talking about the book which you've written with Ava.
Okay, I feel like I should sit up.
Okay, so how did you even come up with, writing a book with your daughter isn't the first thing that occurs to people.
No, it's really annoying. Everybody a parent out here, you know what I'm saying, right? My daughter's 16, she's like, hi, Mom.
So how did you have the idea to write this book?
Well, Ava's, my mother and father were big cooks. They weren't chefs at all. They were academics. They did nothing but read books and cook. And my father was a history professor, and my mother was a cookbook editor, and they met getting PhDs at Yale University. And then they got married there. Yeah, I applied. I didn't get in. Any questions? So my mom was always cooking from a book because she was a cookbook editor. So she would cook her way through a manuscript. That was her process. She was like a method actor for cookbook editors. So for a year, I joke, but for a year I ate just Northern Italian food. Great, but then we had the cake year for the Cake Bible, of an iconic book, the Cake Bible. I ate that whole book, and I wore elastic waist pants early. I don't remember the pre-elastic pant era, but I'd say, what's for dinner? And my mom would say, cake. So there was a lot of cooking going on, and my father was like an impulse cook. He would go to the supermarket and spend 45 minutes feeling all the fruits and vegetables to pick one peach and one head of lettuce. Yeah. He said his grandmother went into the fish store and pointed to the tank of live lobsters and said, not fresh. So that's the cloth my father was cut from. There's two different things. My father was psycho supermarket shopping and doing like a lot of weeknight meals, and my mother was cooking her way through these books. And so when Ava was like 4 or 5, I thought I need to make a decision about how to introduce her to cooking. I'm going to curate this experience. So I decided that I was going to ignore her. And that if she wanted to know what was going on in the kitchen, well, she would come in and look, and if she didn't, she wouldn't. And it really was never a challenge for me to feel. I never felt this desire to like impart all my years of cooking, because I didn't want her to then feel guilty and compelled to do it if she didn't love it. And honestly, it was a mixed bag. Some days she'd get in there and cut things and stir, and some days she's like, ugh, can't we just have a cheeseburger like a normal family? But I'd say a couple of years ago, she started kind of watching Gordon Ramsay.
And not you?
No, not me.
Okay.
She's literally like, oh. She watches Chopped. She always watched Chopped. So I would come home from shooting Chopped, and she would be watching Chopped, which is like, I'm not complaining, but it's just really weird. So we watched Chopped and Cutthroat Kitchen, she liked a lot. In any event, she started watching Gordon Ramsay and she started cooking from his books. She got a couple of his books and she started making stuff. And then she started making recipes she found on TikTok and fiddling around. And I'd come in and she'd say, I just made this thing. And it had nothing to do with me. Other than I think she felt like, well, there's always stuff going on in the kitchen, so I'm just gonna come in here when I feel like it. And then I started to notice this little repertoire of dishes that really weren't anything like what my mother made or what I made. And I thought, maybe we have like a little multi-generational homage. I just didn't want it to be like the two of us sitting at a table looking kind of constipated with an apple. Like, I thought I really wanted this to just be real and flawed and kind of beautiful, and maybe encourage kids to cook with friends, family members, whatever, aunts, uncles, cousins, and just enjoy cooking. So you answered your question in like 50 minutes.
There was definitely an answer there. So, like, you have a lot of training. Did you ever like come into the kitchen and say, "Oh no, Ava, there's a better way to cut an onion," or you just
no way
let her do it?
No way. I don't get blamed for that in therapy for 30 years. Okay. Zero chance.
And when I was looking through this book, I mean, the recipes they're very sophisticated. They're very cool. I mean, I remember, when I was a kid, there was a Betty Crocker cookbook for kids. It had you making like a castle using ice cream cones as a turret.
That sounds fun.
It was fun. You'd make a sheet cake and then you'd cut out the bits to like pile on top. And anyway, so like, I don't know if I had just been presented with these recipes, if I would have been able to tell, oh, these are the recipes cooked by, the seasoned chef, and these are the recipes cooked by the 16-year-old. I mean, does that even exist anymore? Like a recipe that's for teens, or are they just so sophisticated and they see so much that it's just we're all cooking the same things? Or
I don't think teens are. I think we're all the same. I think history repeats itself beyond. And some days Ava's like, I'm having a cheeseburger, go away. And then some days she's making anchovy toasts. So I don't even know what's going on. If anybody relate, I'm really like, I'm on planet Z as a parent. Like, beam me down. I don't know what to do. I don't think so. But I think this is a pretty unique mother-daughter relationship with food. It goes back to my mother. Right. It goes back to the other side of Ava's family is Jewish. So she will make a whole Rosh Hashanah meal and eat that with her grandparents. And then she comes home and I'm slinging veal parm. So she pulls from both of those on her own, which I love.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, maybe this could just be like a template or an explanation or an example of the sort of conversation kids and their parents have with food ingredients. And if you don't know what that looks like, or you want to bring that into your home, maybe the book is a tool to kind of see how that can be, or not.
Is she as much of an omnivore as you are? Or are there things that she eats that you don't eat?
She probably eats more stuff than I do. I am my life has been changed by all these years on Chopped.
in a good way?
I just want a cheese sandwich. And I want to be left alone. It's interesting, I was out with a friend for dinner, and the chef was so sweet and so excited we were there. I went with another chef. And he put the whole menu on the table. Like, we ordered a bunch of dishes. Well, I get it. It's a love language thing. I get it.
And they want to impress you.
It's so sweet. I love it. But then I'm left.
Right.
And I can't tell you, like, I always bring cash to a restaurant in case, because I bribe the busboy, like, pack it all up, bro. I don't want to see those plates with the food go back and the chef sees we didn't eat it all. Pack it up and meet me in the alley. But I was eating with this person, and they said to the server, this is one of the few meals of the week that she gets to pick what she eats. Why don't you let her order and eat what she wants to order? And I thought that was kind of interesting. That's really what it is.
The waiter
I
said
sit
that?
down. No, my friend.
Oh, that was...
I sit down to a lot of meals I didn't plan for or pick, if you know what I'm putting out. So I have to say I enjoy Swiss cheese and ham on a baguette like nobody's business. If I see bread pudding or French toast, I'm out.
Can I ask you a question about Chopped? I've always wondered.
We're on stage. I'm being interviewed, so
okay.
yes.
Okay. So in Chopped, I mean, I think part of the fun part is that wackadoo ingredient.
Sure.
That nobody wants. But what, like from a serious cook standpoint, like what is it tested? Like all the other stuff, like the time, the pressure, all of that, those are all skills that you need to be a good cook, or certainly a restaurant chef. But integrating licorice into your pork chop dish is not necessarily a skill that you need. So how do you view that weird ingredient? Like, what does it tell you about a chef?
Oh, I was just going to say, as a viewer, the viewer is engaged. It's like a play along, because the viewer is like, no, if you melt down the licorice, Jeffrey's not going to like it. No. Don't put them over the pickled red onion. You know, Scott's going to hit the roof. So it's like a play along.
So it's like a strategy.
I think it's a strategy, and I think people open their refrigerators and they're like, I have a banana, some wasabi, half a roll of toilet paper, and some chicken. Let's go.
Right, but at home you would always have the option to say, oh, well, I see the licorice in my refrigerator, but I'm not going to use it because...
Well, contestants on Chopped do that too.
Yeah, but they always go down. They always go down if they don't do something special with the secret ingredient.
You know, the bottom line is it's kind of like it is at home, which is, did what you make taste good and did you like it?
Yeah.
I mean, on Chopped, that really does rule. That has to be the ultimate ruling factor, and it's not it's an unspoken rule. There are a lot of rules that are articulated, but I am always fighting for the most delicious thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
You forgot 4 ingredients. This is so good. And there are better judges than I am. They're like, you know, Manita or Amanda. They'll be like, no, this is not how you.
Why would you not? What would make a judge better than you?
Oh, I mean, they may be more well-behaved, or I
don't think anybody
nicer.
wants that.
You know, you get these Q scores or whatever, like what people think of you when they see you on TV type stuff, and they're like, well, people really trust you as an authority. They believe that what you're going to say is true, and I'm like, go ahead, get to it. Butter me up, why don't you? The doctor's like, good news on the first page of your blood work. And he's holding like 6 pages. And they're like, well, maybe you could people see you as like a mama bear and everything, but maybe sometimes, a little tenderness and
Who's got the highest Q score on
Oh,
the
I
Food
don't
Network?
know. Oh, I don't know. If I did know, I would definitely not say.
Okay.
But I genuinely don't know. That'd be fun. It's not me. But I'm working on it, Melville. Come on.
I think you might be surprised.
No, I'm not. I'm quite sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
confident even. But thank you.
So, bold moves. Where I'm looking at. What did you mean by bold moves? You put it right there on the cover.
Yeah. Well, I think that mostly came from a lot of Ava's pantry choices.
Like what?
Well, she uses a lot of spices and international ingredients. And, I said, you got to dial down the spice. Like, some of these are spicy. And she's like, Mom, it's bold. And I thought, I'm holding on to that. Like, I liked that thought. That really came from a lot of her choices. And some of this stuff is bold. And by the way, I think just experimenting with the simplest dish, like an avocado toast, and trying to get it right at home, that's also bold. Just going into the kitchen. Also, one of my great mentors is Bobby Flay. And yeah, that's right. I agree. He's the bomb. But one of his first books, and you got to check it out. He's gonna find out I said this. I said something about him at a food festival, and he texted me like 3 minutes later, and he's like, "Yo, what did you just say?" He's like that. But one of his first books was called Bold American Food, and I remember flipping through it before I knew him and being like, "Really?" And then realizing, and even I pulled it out the other day, and I was flipping through it. And I don't know, I think it might have made its way into the title because of that also.
I think of him as really, I think of him as a really seminal figure in terms of these bold, I mean, in many ways, but this, just these big, bold flavors that so many other chefs really don't have control of the way he does.
Yep.
But I trace a lot of questionable food back to people not having the skills that Bobby had in controlling those big, bold flavors.
He's got some mad skills.
So your show, Alex versus America, is a little like Beat Bobby Flay. Well, I mean,
I think it's friendlier on Beat Bobby Flay. They're like, "Oh my God, Bobby, come on."
No, I just mean in that
these chefs come out.
You're
and they're
being
like,
judged. You're being judged.
It's
Is that nervous making?
Yeah, it's so hard. That show is so
you
hard.
You win almost all the time.
No, I don't. Don't look up my record. I see you with your phone and then don't look at it. No, you'd be surprised. I lose a lot, and I don't care. I really don't. Yeah, I do.
No, but you're
so pissed. There's one from last season. I'm like, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too."
But I mean, look, there are a lot of shows where you don't have to put yourself out there to be judged by people who don't know what you're doing. I mean, is that like a tightrope act for you, or
no?
Did they make you
put
do
up
it?
or shut up.
Yeah.
That's all. I really do. I think if I'm going to be a judge, and I think if you're a teacher, so to speak, like I think of a judge as maybe as a teacher of some or an authority, then you got to keep it sharp.
So in a way, being a judge on
last season. I know where he works.
But the being a judge on Chopped and then being judged yourself on Alex versus America are sort of two sides of the same coin. I hadn't really thought about that.
I think my process is, put yourself out there. I think stay sharp, practice your craft, right? Don't let the clipboard rule the roost, right? And some days I'm like, why did I say I would do this? Literally. Or, what's hard for me about Alex vs. America also is that, the stuff that probably would have ended up on the cutting room floor 10 years ago is the show now, right? So I was at home eating a cheese sandwich, yes I was, and some promo came on for Alex vs. America, and it was like kind of raw, like it was just me throwing pans around, and I'm like, what is this? And then it said like Alex versus America, Tuesdays at 10 or whatever, and I was like, that's a promo? My career is over. I was like tearing up and throwing a pan, and sausages were flying, and I was like, I was like, Ava, man, I'm either graduating to another level or I'm gonna get fired. Have you ever felt that way? Like promoted or fired, you're not sure? Yeah.
We're gonna take a brief video interlude to look at footage of you cooking a ricotta toast with tomato. I think that Elisa DiStefano visited you out east.
Oh, okay. I felt like, are we going through my underwear drawer?
Spying on you.
Right. Settle down, Melville.
Okay, it's going to be right.
I am so excited to be in your kitchen with you.
Hello.
Hello. What are we making?
So I thought we would make something from my first cookbook with my daughter Ava called Cook It Up that comes out in September. And I thought I would make a little ricotta toast, something that is an example of Ava whipping up a little snack. So just some sliced garlic cloves, a little olive oil and balsamic on there, little tiny bit of honey.
Ooh, honey.
A little salt. Well, the honey is really that little trick. pick a larger and a smaller tomato to kind of vary. And I love these little tomatoes, the sun golds. So we just marinate these, let them hang out, throw it in the fridge, let it get ice cold for a few hours.
Yeah.
Just, there's something about pan toasting the bread and a little bit of olive oil that, I don't know, it's just better. I feel like it's just something that everybody loves. I'm so glad that was brief. I mean, no offense.
It's good because we're getting to the end of tomato season, so that's a great thing to do with tomatoes. You got something good to do with zucchini?
No, it sucks. No, I'm kidding. I like, honestly, I don't think there's much better. I like splitting them down the middle with olive oil and just a little sugar, like a pinch, because they're really kind of bitter. And sea salt and really an obscene amount of garlic grated on the microplane grater with some garlic powder. So I love garlic powder. It's God's nectar. And then smear that on the zucchini and then throw them in a really hot oven, like 400, just for like 15 minutes, and then throw some vinegar on them. Or chop that up and put it with pasta, and it's good stuff.
Okay. This is the time of year when people have too many zucchini.
Oh my God, me too.
Do you have a garden?
Look, I have a garden. It's like this big. It's a disaster. It's cute though.
When do you even have time to cook?
Well, I do a lot of cooking on TV, quite honestly. So I just finished. I know that's kind of funny. I never thought I'd say that. I just finished 2 weeks of wild cooking.
For what?
For Alex versus America.
Oh, okay.
And it was wild. I came home, I was like, I'm not even boiling water for a week. I wouldn't even go in the kitchen. I'm like, no, I can beam a piece of toast into the toaster. But I do cook at home with my daughter a lot.
And do you,
I just made her dinner before I came here.
So do you, you write a lot of cookbooks, and so you're always coming up with new recipes. But then are there things that do you get home and you're like, I just want to cook this thing that I know that I love. I don't want to create anything new, or are you always creating something new?
Oh my God, no.
Okay. It's the ham and cheese sandwich.
Yeah, you gotta have downtime. Does anybody you think an Uber driver's like, hey honey, I got a day off, I'm gonna go for a drive. You know what's weird is that my profession is most people's recreation.
Right.
And that's hard. The other thing that's hard is people come to see chefs at a restaurant, like, oh my God, I'm gonna come see you at the restaurant. And I'm like, trying to fix a broken grease trap and maybe the dishwasher's drunk. I'm not having the same night you are, bro. Like, you're in the dining room eating a piece of cheesecake and I'm plunging a drain. And then they're like, so how are you? How's your family? And I'm like, I'm worried about the grease trap downstairs. So it's a little funny to honestly have a profession that is something we need to do to live and survive, and also recreational.
I get it.
It's like an acute necessity and an acute recreation. And also people say to me, I grilled the most amazing swordfish on my patio last weekend for my friends. I'm gonna be a chef. And I'm like, sounds like you're all ready. I always joke that being a chef is 90% social and 10% onions, because you gotta get people to sign up and believe in what's going on.
Would you ever want Ava to go into a career in food?
I don't care. I really don't. And I say that to her. I can't, it's whatever she wants. You know what's weird is we were looking at some colleges and we visited my alma mater together the other day, and we were in the ground floor of one of the buildings, and there were students eating at like a little snack bar thing, and she was looking at the snack bar, and I'm thinking, and she said, I could have like a bakery when I'm in college, and I could like run a little bakery, and I'm like, there's the sickness. Most people say I'm so excited, like, where's the quad? Where's the local bar as soon as my mom leaves? Where's the library, right? My daughter is thinking about running a bakery. So I'm a little worried.
Well, did you, you went off to college probably not thinking that you were going to have a career in food.
Not at all.
So what happened?
My dad kept saying, you better do something you like because you're going to do it forever, all day long, every day of the rest of your whole life. And I was like, that's right. And then I was like, I don't like to do anything. I wish I was kidding. For like 3 days, I sat in my room like, gotta like it. I was finishing college. I had a degree in art history. What are you gonna do with that? I'm gonna go sell a painting at the Metropolitan Museum of Art? So I thought, well, I don't have a major that leads to a logical place. If I'm lucky, I get to like dust off a Rembrandt. Like, what do we? So then I thought, well, I don't know. I like to cook. So I called my mom. I was like, I'm going to work in a restaurant. I'm going to go to cooking school. And she was like, we're not paying. She's like, whatever it is, I don't care, but we're not paying. So she had an author she was working with, Larry Forgione, who we call the Godfather of American cooking. She said, he's late with his manuscript. Go down there and tell him you want to work for free in his kitchen. So I went down to an American place on 32nd Street, and I started working there for free, and I was a disaster. They stuck me in the pastry. They're like, you can't burn anything in there. So I would say I worked there for like a year before, I dropped a whole tray of eggs on Larry's suede shoes, day 2. You name it, I did it. But after like a year, I could do a few things. And I don't know. He was like, go to France. He's like, don't hang around here. So I did.
I'm gonna open up the floor to some questions if you
Sure.
don't mind.
No, totally.
We
are going to look at your outfit if you ask a question.
Raise your hand if you've got a question, because we've got a gentleman there who's going to run a microphone over to you. We got one over here.
It's like working on the kitchen with Jay-Z and Jeff and Sonny and...
Oh my God. That's what it looks like. Jeff is hilarious. I really struggle working with him because he's real, like I have to literally be like, I can't. He's so funny. Jeffrey Zakarian is, I have a unique relationship with each person. Jeffrey Zakarian and I made so much television together. We did 2 seasons of The Next Iron Chef together. I was his sous chef for his first 6 Iron Chef battles on Iron Chef America. We've sat on Chopped together for 15 years. I have done more television with Jeffrey than maybe any other person. So he's like, I love him to death. I love him. And he is a ridiculous cook. I don't know if you can see it on TV, but he's literally like... It's really annoying. I'm going to slap him one day. So I love him so much. And Sonny and I auditioned. We had our screen test for Food Network on the same day. I went into a room at Food Network Studios, and they were like, this is Sonny Anderson. She was like, hi. And I was like, hi. And they're like, Sonny's going to talk you through, and you're going to cook a recipe, and you're going to, we're going to film you together. You're going to make minestrone. And I was like, okay, cool. And Sonny's like asking me all these questions, and we're chatting, and we're laughing. We're obviously psycho nervous. And I make the whole thing, and they're like, that was so great, but you didn't put the beans or the vegetables into the soup. And I was like, I didn't. So you guys have pets, right? A lot of you? You know when you're like, what's the matter? To your dog? They gave me the head tilt, and they're like, you did a really nice job. Sonny, you were fantastic. I was like, I left. I was like, that's it, it's over. And as I was walking out, Ann Burrell was walking in. It's just funny. So Sonny calls me her day one because we know each other from the very first moment on Food Network. And then Katie Lee, she's always on Long Island. We hang out a lot together. I kind of know her more out and about in the world. So we could not be 5 more different people.
How come you wanted to be on TV?
I didn't want to be on TV. I wanted to be on Iron Chef America, okay? Some people want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Some people want to help stray cats. I get it. I just wanted to be on Iron Chef America. I watched the show at home. I was like, I want to be on that show because that's the show. Like in Field of Dreams, you want to be in the show. To me, that was the show. So I watched the show. I was so jealous. I was like, he's not that good. He can't really cook. And then and so for years, I think 3 years, I lobbied to just challenge an Iron Chef for one episode. And I was like, I did it. Awesome. I was pregnant. I just found out I was pregnant. Like that, I feel like it was that morning. Like you get the test strip and you're like, alrighty, let's do this. But that was it. I genuinely didn't see beyond that. And then it just sort of snowballed. Like they were like, come in and do this and come in and do that. And then they called for Chopped, which I said no to originally, which is, I was like, that's a dumb show. No one will watch. The guy at Food Network was like, I don't understand. We're making a new show. It was made for you. You must be on the show. And I was like, it sounds dumb. And I don't want everybody to hate me. And I'm going to get a lot of hate mail. I can feel the vibes. I'm not doing it. So for like 2 weeks, they were like, come do one episode. My agent was like, just do one episode. I was like, if I do one, will you leave me alone? And they're like, yeah. So I went down there and I met Jeffrey Zakarian. That was the day I met him. And Scott Conant, who I knew already. Scott was the only judge that I knew on Chopped before Chopped. And we could not stop laughing the whole day. We laughed the whole day. By the way, it was like 16 hours to make one episode at that time.
16 hours?
Oh yeah, it was wild. Well, they were figuring it out. Ted was like, whose dish is on the chopping block? So then what happened? So then the producer came out and said, what do I got to do to get you to come back and be on the show again? And I thought, they're not going to give me any money. You know when you just know, right? I was like, I need to ask for something, right? Like someone's asking me. And I said, well, I don't know. I always have to sit in the middle. And she was like, interesting, okay. And I said, no one remembers the corner square. You only remember the center square.
So you're the Paul Lind of Chopped?
I'll take it, honey. He was happy. And then so be it. 15 years later, only judge that always sits in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to die on that hill.
So, other questions? Oh, we got a bunch over there.
Would you consider doing Amber L's show with the worst cook?
I did do it.
Would you repeat what was?
I did do
repeat
worst.
the question?
Would you consider doing Worst Cooks, Amber L? I did do the show. I have done Worst Cooks.
How bad is it?
It's great. I love Worst Cooks. What?
My daughter and I watch it all the time.
Yeah, I've done the show.
It's just,
I love it.
online that we sit
It's real, people. This one woman put a chicken in a pot and started cutting it with her scissors. And I said, why are you doing that? And she goes, it'll cook more inside. I mean, like, all my dreams are broken. I went home every night just broken. Yeah, and Anne's amazing on that show. 27 seasons. Wow, one of the longest running shows on Food Network.
Are you on your way somewhere? Ah, there we go.
Which type of show do you prefer? To be the host, to be the competitor, or to be the judge?
Yes. I don't know. Probably competitor, truly. I really get a kick out of it. I'm so not very good at so many basic things, and I'm sort of oddly good at this really weird thing. Does that make sense?
Wait, what basic
I
thing are you
cannot
not
figure
good at?
out, like, if I can walk down the street 100 times, I don't know where I am.
Oh, okay, not a cooking
And people are
thing.
like, you're faking it to be cute. And I'm like, it's not cute. I have no idea where I am ever. There's a lot of I can't print a boarding pass to save my life. There's a lot of things I just can't do. And so to be oddly good at something so odd and get the privilege of doing it on national television is my favorite. But I like it all. It's a privilege to be on television, I feel.
Hey,
Anyone else?
I knew that you had a French background, but you sort of answered by saying, oh, I just went over to France. And so you just decided to go there, no knife skills, where'd you get your
You think I'm stupid.
your chops?
I'm teasing you. My father, I said, was a history teacher. He was a European history teacher. And there was a bust of Napoleon that sat on the dining room table, and there's a giant poster of Napoleon on a horse in the middle of the dining room. So even though I'm Italian, all my heritage on both sides, I'm all Italian. My father was fascinated with Napoleonic warfare, and that was his specialty. And anything French was the only way to go. So my mother cooked through all the Julia Child books, and my father ate a lot of lemon meringue pie. So when I went to work in my first kitchen and the chef said, go to France, all the bust of Napoleon was like, go to France. It's like Zoolander, kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia. All these little events gelled, and I applied to a culinary school. I bought a book for $9 called The Shaw Guide to World Culinary Schools. I think they still produce this guide. And I flipped through it and found one in France and wrote them and said, could I be a work-study student? And they were like, yeah. So I went. But it turned into 7 years instead of 9 months because I started working for a chef named Guy Savoy in Paris. I was supposed to go for 2 days, and the second day I came, he was there, and I don't really know what to say other than I think I just found the father I never had, and I figured it out pretty quickly. I had to stand still by my own estimations for 6 years to feel confident enough to cook anything in the whole kitchen. That's how long it took me. So that's how I ended up in France. I went without nice skills, very poor French. It was a bad choice.
Hi, I was wondering, what is your favorite dish to cook with Ava?
Oh, we don't cook like that. Like, you do the ricotta. No, you do the tomato. She makes something, I make something, and then we converge. It's parallel play. So she'll make she likes to make salsas and vinaigrettes and sauces. She's a saucier by accident. So I do whatever she doesn't want to do so that she can explore and, So, I don't know, we eat an awful lot of pork chops and chicken cutlets with stuff that because those are kind of the blank slates for whatever she's kind of fiddling around with. I wish I could have a better answer, but a lot of the recipes in the book we truly enjoy together. And sometimes she'll say, can you just make that thing you make that I like? Which is so, and I'm like, don't you want Gordon's? Very bitter, very bitter. But he follows us both on Instagram, so I'll take it.
Any other questions? Oh, we got a lot.
I was wondering, prior to going into competition, do you do anything like mentally or physically to prepare yourself before you go in?
I had a rough childhood. I did. 2 temperamental Italians. So I think that wired me. I'm not kidding. Like, I think it was like a tethering rod for being awake. Do I do anything? Yes. You mean like right before I cook, or like 2 days before, or like 3 weeks before? Which? Maybe all of them kind of. Yeah. I play a lot of tennis, and I never play to play a game, and I don't serve. I just hit the ball. And that really helps me with the hand-eye. So physically, I start sharpening up. I'm not 20, if you gather what I'm putting out. So I play a lot of tennis because you can't do anything but hit the ball. And it feels a lot like cutting and producing food to me. But my tennis teacher's like, let's play a game, let's do a tournament. I'm like, stop, we're just hitting the ball, don't deviate. It's not about tennis, you fool. I cook stuff that I think I know how to make that I forgot if I really know how to make it, and I make it again. And my daughter's like, are you practicing cooking? Because that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard, considering that's all you know how to do, Mom. Shouldn't you practice something new? And I'm like, no. So if I'm like, I haven't made pasta dough in a while, and I know the recipe, but I'm going to make it. So I put myself through those types of paces. I read cookbooks, and then I watch a couple episodes of a bunch of different competition shows to watch what other people make and do. and look at a pantry on TV is helpful to me. Like I look at the pantry, like, look at that pineapple. Don't you do it. Those are a few of the things I do. Like calisthenics for my brain, I guess. I'm really strange. It's way stranger than I'm portraying. It's nothing. It's all rated G, my friend, but it's just strange. I do weird stuff. I go down to Chinatown and I eat a bunch of fruit. You know, I just follow some weird unicorn around.
So in other words, those are fruits that you would not normally see, but you might see in a competition. Things that would come out.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But more like I gotta remember what they taste like. And remember them. I'm like, I forgot about artichokes.
Right.
You forget. Oh, a lychee is so good.
Right.
Oh, a guava. What are you doing here? I go over it. Confucius said, move your wheels over the same ruts. That's me.
Move your wheels over the same ruts.
Yeah. That'll end a room. That'll quiet a room down.
Okay.
We got one brave soul.
We have someone else here.
What do you like to do when you're not cooking and not on TV?
Nothing. No, I'm kidding. You mean like what else do I do? Is that code for do I have hobbies? Because I want to have one. But my hobby is my profession. And it's also my profession. And it's something that I've put myself in such a position that I feel I need to practice a lot. So I don't do much else, quite bluntly. I know that sounds strange. And people that have hobbies, I don't like them anyway. I'm super jealous. I have a lot of friends that are really good at having hobbies. What do? I drink coffee. I like plants and trees and flowers, but I think I only like them because they're really food. So I do, I like to go to like fancy garden stores, and they're like, can I help you? And I'm like, no. I look at trees and flowers and plants a lot. I like doing that. I think it's a hobby. I think I want to take a flower arranging class. My therapist says that I can. She's very rich. I just spoke to her today. She's like, okay, Alex. But no, like, do I like reading and long walks on the beach? Nah. No. I flip through cookbooks too. Wait, you said not cooking. Not much.
Alex, I wondered,
Yeah.
Alex had mentioned before, her mother was a really famous cookbook editor, Maria Guarnaschelli.
Yeah.
And who was an idol of mine when I used to be a cookbook editor.
Mine too.
But,
She's an idol of mine too.
yeah. What are the cookbooks that are, can you recommend, what are the ones for the ages, as far as you're concerned, that have really inspired you, cookbooks?
I like this one really weird out-of-print book called The Gourmet Cooking School Cookbook by Diane Lucas. It was published a gazillion years ago, but you can find it. It's organized by menu.
She was one of the first TV cooks.
Yeah. Yeah, she looked grumpy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like her. I like that book. I like The Joy of Cooking. I like the Fannie Farmer cookbook. Man, it's a classic. I love the Cake Bible I mentioned, Rose Birnbaum, for baking. I mean, she's a complete psycho. She's like 0.02 grams of baking powder, and I'm like, come on, honey. Help me help you here. But her recipes are amazing.
Yes, I remember her apple pie recipe where she has you cook the filling before you put it in the shell.
By the way, no other way to make a pie,
Right,
period.
but that was
wild.
Earth-shattering for me.
She's wild, Rose. I've known her my whole adult life. She's amazing.
Any more? And okay, I think you're going to be the last question.
People want to get home and eat pie.
I just had to say that
Yeah.
I cried the day you made Iron Chef. You worked that. You should be so proud of yourself.
That was the wildest day of my whole life. I thank you. You don't know what it means to me that you saw that happen. You have no idea. Also, we shot that at the Chelsea Market. She's talking about the next Iron Chef. The finale was me and Amanda, and I went. I could walk there from where I lived. I didn't sleep the whole night. I was circling the Chelsea market like a shark. I went in there. I was like, I got no choice here. And yeah, they introduced the winner of Iron Chef. They drop a curtain and there's the picture of the new Iron Chef. So it's Amanda and I, and we had been shooting for like 4 or 5 weeks, and I was like, I mean, I was shredded. And I'm looking, and the chairman is like tearing up because it was so emotional. The chairman's the bomb, by the way, the greatest. That's my boy. He's standing in front of us like watery eyes. Alton's like watering up. I've got Bobby, Jeffrey Zakarian, Simon, they're all standing there, and I'm like, Jesus. So the curtain is like somewhat translucent, and I see through the curtain a part. And I'm like, that's Amanda's hair part. So I lost. And so I'm standing there, and I'm like, could it be my part? And the chairman's like, you need to look at me. Like, I'm talking, and I'm like, I'm just trying to see through this curtain if that's me or Amanda, right? And the director's like, Alex, like, we got to finish. It's 9 p.m. And he dropped the curtain, and all I said to myself was, oh my God, don't cry. Like, do not. I did not cry. And then Bobby and Michael Simon came over to me, and Bobby said, the best thing about this is how much you deserve it. Aww. And I was like, you're damn, thank you so much. Thank you. It was quite a day.
I know we have some more, so let's take them.
These poor people, they're like, are we ever going home?
I don't think they
Hi,
will.
Alex. How are you? So I have a question regarding the kitchen.
Okay.
I noticed that when things are cut on the bias, that seems to be an issue with you.
Yes.
What's up with that?
It gives me massive anxiety. And rightfully so, I feel.
Explain what that means, cut on the
So
bias.
when something's cut on the bias, it's cut on an angle. You know, like scallions.
You don't like that?
Here's what I think, okay? The amount of difference that cutting with a sharp knife or the choices you make for the shapes and manner in which you cut anything totally and completely transform the way you taste them, because you chew them up in a different way, and that's what I'm obsessed with. It's one of the things that I'm obsessed with cooking. Small dice, big dice, circle, round, flat, square, perpendicular, right? All these shapes and sizes and every little choice you make changes the way you take a spoonful of something and you mash it up in your mouth and how you taste it. When things are cut on the bias, they're too long, they get stringy, they get weird, they stick to the roof of your mouth, you chew them, you gotta chew them more to get the taste. If it's something like a scallion, you want an immediate hit, so you gotta cut it straight. It's very simple.
Right.
Well, you guys are really pulling my crazy out.
Now we have we've got our truly last question.
Okay.
So it better be a good one.
Oh boy, the pressure.
It's not a question, it's a comment.
Okay.
I have loved you since the first time I've seen you, and
Thank you.
I want to thank you.
Wait, are you going to say you don't love me anymore?
I definitely love you. But I want to thank you because I've been cooking a long time, you could tell by the gray hair, and because of watching you, you're such a good teacher. I've learned things that I never thought I would learn, and I love to experiment now. I'm not afraid to try different things, and that's, thanks to you. So, thank you.
I mean, I just want to say, like the Wizard of Oz, like she had the shoes the whole time. She could go home, Dorothy. You know what I mean? She didn't need all that stuff, so. Fair enough, thank you. But you always had it in you, I'm sure.
All right, well, we're not going to top that.
Unlikely.
So I want to thank all of you.
Yeah, thank you for sitting here.
And I want to thank you, Alex, for coming. This was such a pleasure.